well. How is everyone doing tonight? I hope well. Oh, boy. Oh, gee whiz. I, as a level 69 Karen, am outraged that you scum think a blizzard is an acceptable excuse to delay a show. Shall report you to the UN for war crimes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. See, I don't know that I want to talk much about the trip because I want to talk about it on Onion Nuggets tomorrow. Or as I should say, the special patrons only Scooter and the Hog tomorrow. I don't want to like burn myself out on telling the story, you know? So we'll keep it brief on that tonight. I'm just going to chill, honestly. I got home about an hour ago, maybe less. Sort of like maybe an hour ago. And shall I just say that the trip that I took almost bested me. That should be all you need to know about it. As powerful as I am, it almost bested me. It almost took me right the fuck out. Hey, Polio, I've got the last couple of these. Sorry if you've been asked, but have you caught the Batman and did you enjoy it, et cetera, et cetera? I have not. And I really don't expect to either, to be honest with you. It's not that I want to be a curmudgeon about it. I'm just very, very done with superhero films in general. I've talked about this before. I've been done for years now. Basically since what was the last fucking Avengers movie? Endgame or whatever. I walked out of Avengers Endgame and I was pretty much like, yeah, I'm done. So there's that. Paul, you like 40K? Do you do any painting yourself? Dude, I'm in that weird fucking I'm in that weird spot where like I want to buy I want to buy a couple of figures and some paints, but there's so much information on how to do it right, and there's so much like portent and picking which army you're going to collect and all that shit that I'm just like stalled out, you know? Just a little stalled. Eventually I'll pick something up. Oh, that's nice. That's real nice. I think we'll keep that rolling in the background tonight. You can just get some basic, cheap, random pack and paint those to figure out what you like and don't like. Yeah, I know. I just want to like, I get caught up on that type of shit. $2,000 points of Dark Angels, huh? Oh, yeah. Excuse me. Just sparked the J. It's been a few days. Been a few days since I had a joint. I've been traveling, which means I've been vaping. Vaping the marijuanas. Whoa. What happened? Indica or sativa. This is just a hybrid. Oh, it's good to be home, though. It's always good to get away, and then it feels really good to get home, too. Somehow, when you reach your destination, it makes it all worth it. You made a half an ounce of weed butter today? That's a lot of weed butter, buddy. Not willing to say what state you went to. You know, I'll say what state I went to. I went to the state of Washington. But I actually drove almost all the way through 3 states to get there. What do you think about that? How do you like them apples? I drove through the entirety of a state basically today. Well, maybe not the entirety of a state. Oh, I should have been home yesterday, but that's another story. That's a story for another time. You live in Washington State? Oh. Well, I was there. I was hanging around Washington State for a few days, trying to find the meaning of life. I didn't find it, but I found some relaxation. How about that? Why drive to Washington, take Amtrak? You take the fucking Amtrak, Tucker. Oh, man, I drive. I don't ride no fucking choo-choo train. You kidding me? I'm a fucking American. Americans drive, baby. We get in that shit. We just drive. Did you drive past your previous place? Yeah. I mean, not right past it. But yeah, you know, I saw downtown Bellevue where I used to live. For that fateful year that I lived in Washington, my final year on the Drunken Peasants podcast. Bittersweet memories of Washington, right? Good times, though. But that was not my final destination. That was just a pass-through. NPR vibes. Yeah, right? What's up, little view? What it do? What it do? What it do? I have that cool oil infuser thing. It's like a machine. It's on Amazon. It makes so much product for your flour. Neat. Well, to quote the dude, I still jerk off manually, but enjoy. I did. Overall, it was a good trip. The way back was a nightmare. But coming home is always hard, isn't it? Drove through 3 states, so I deduce you live in Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, somewhere in the Mountain West Conference. Hey, you can deduce until your deducer fucking falls off, man. You can deduce that shit so fucking hard, bro, that your deducer might just fall all the way off. Makes no difference to me. By the way, thanks for the 99 cents Cloud Massacre. I saw it pop up while I was getting the stream ready this evening. I appreciate that. As always, you're hyped for the new season of Dank D&D. Yeah, man. I just want to get it out there. It doesn't look like Dank D&D is going to be all that popular. Maybe we'll have to put some advertising money behind it or something, but there's just so many like D&D podcasts right now, you know? Even though I think what we're doing is very different. I think the type of D&D that we're playing is very different. A lot of the D&D podcasts that exist right now are like trying to like dress up the game, you know what I mean? They've got like fucking 3D maps and, you know, with like terrain and hand painted shit, all that shit that people can't afford. We're just playing some D&D, man. It's like an old school game of D&D. No costumes, none of that shit. It's you know, 4 stoners sitting around a table and playing D&D. Thanks, Tucker. Appreciate the 2 buckers, you fucker. Remember watching the holiday special? What was I doing with TJ? Funny shit I've ever seen. Oh yeah, man. That thing just about drove me and TJ out of our minds. How was the drive? Long. It was long. If you want to hear the whole story, you know, become a patron. Because the patron's onion nuggets, I will undoubtedly tell the whole story. I would normally just tell it to you guys, but we got an onion nuggets tomorrow, and it's a patron's one. They deserve to hear it fresh. So I'm going to resist telling the story of the trip. Or at the very least, the story of the travel. Did really well as a DM. I loved it. Well, thanks. It was my first time. It's actually my first time playing D&D as well. In fact, we're not even playing D&D. We're playing Pathfinder. I guess that's semantics. Basically D&D. Yeah, it was my first time playing D&D, and TJ, Ashley, and Scotty's first time playing D&D. The only one that had any experience in the crew was Stevie. So what else did I miss out on while I was gone? Anybody want to tell me? Anybody want to fill me in on what's happening in the world? I kind of poked my head into Twitter while I was resting in my hotel room while I was gone. You know, I dropped like my Twitter strategy is so good. Because I'll tell you guys, I used to like post on Twitter, right? And then I'd go back a couple hours later and check to see what, you know, who had responded to shit. And I'm telling you, man, 9 times out of 10 on that check back, I'd get so I'd end up being so mad because somebody was such a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? And left such a fucking stupid comment. And then I realized, like, wait a minute, I can say whatever I want. A bunch of people are going to see it. Like close to 20,000 people follow me, and then, you know, but you don't have to read a fucking thing anybody says. And it was like, I know that seems simple or whatever, but it was like an epiphany for me, man. I was like, whoa, what? Gilbert Gottfried died? Don't fucking tell me that, man. Are you serious? Gilbert Gottfried died? Oh man. I actually like Gilbert. He was one of my favorite guests on the old Howard Stern show. Oh man. Well, Rest in peace, Gilbert. That's a shame. Did you guys ever hear Gilbert Gottfried's real voice? Let me see if I can find it. I'll see if I can find Gilbert Gottfried's real voice. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, I can't play too much of this, obviously. Well, there's not too much of it. But here, let me see. I'm going to crank it up. This is like an old-ass Howard Stern show clip. And they basically, like, he left a message for the show, you know, because he was a friend of the show. He was always on the show. He left a message for the show, and he didn't put on the character. And it's a little crazy. Let's see. It'll probably be fine right there. All right.
Of a cartoon character. You are. What voice is this from?
Aladdin.
Aladdin. He plays a parrot.
Okay, wait. Well, I'm going to skip around because Howard Stern notoriously litigious about his old content.
They only had Gilbert in mind.
Planning on him.
Just don't.
Okay, yeah, they're just playing like, and just in case you haven't heard, this is what Gilbert Gottfried sounded like.
Believe it. We're never going to get a hold of that stupid lamp.
Okay, so that's him as the parrot in Aladdin, and that was basically the character that he put on in public. Like in public, pretty much that's what Gilbert Gottfried sounded like. Gottfried sounded like his whole life. So let's see if we can get.
Yes, during his clip.
Let's see. So they yeah, like I said, he left a message on the Howard Stern show, and
Everything else.
I just want to see, where's it at?
This is off the air, Gilbert.
Oh.
This is Gilbert calling Gary from years ago on the answering machine.
Okay.
Okay.
And this is Gilbert's real voice. All right, just to
All right. This is actually really creepy.
scary.
Yes.
All right, but it's like a whole different guy. All right, here it is.
Yeah, Gary, it's Gilbert.
You're kidding.
I'll probably be there tomorrow, but if you could call me up.
Isn't that weird? Dude sounded like a completely normal guy. Hey, everybody, it's Gilbert. It's Gilbert Gottfried. And, yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to make it up there tomorrow. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know if I'll be able to make it up there tomorrow or not. Hi there, Gary. Yeah, it's Gilbert. It's Gilbert. I don't know if I'll be able to make it up there.
And just tell me what exactly is going on tomorrow. Who's going to be there and everything like that.
That's
It's very creepy. It's very strange. But anyway, yeah, sucks to hear that Gilbert Gottfried passed. He's a funny guy. If you want to see how funny Gilbert was, I recommend trying to find some of his old appearances on the Howard Stern show. He really shone in a group environment. Like he was a comic that I really feel like he could shine on his own. Definitely, he was a great stand-up, but he was a real collaborator. You know what I mean? A really smart performer, and managed to pull off a fucking kayfabe character his entire life, basically. You know what I mean? That's pretty fucking respectable there. That would be like if the fucking Undertaker was still walking around with his eyes rolled back in his head and his hair all oiled up, you know? Fucking Undertaker hat on, the purple gloves, the whole bit, you know? If he was still like going to the store like that, you know? That's pretty much what Gilbert did his whole fucking life. If he's up there, he's making fun of his own death. Well, he ain't up there, but if he were, yes, he'd be making fun of his own death. One of his last legitimate roles was God on Smiling Friends. Definitely appropriate. Yeah, I haven't heard of that show. I have not heard of that show. Wait, Undertaker isn't an actual dead man? I know. Right? Yeah, he was in SpongeBob, wasn't he? Spangbab. What'd it do? What'd it do with you? He stole every news segment he sat in on. That's true. I mean, that's really, like I said, that's where he's shown. He's shown, like, Gilbert really shown in a room full of comedians. Like, and that gives you an example of, like, his talent. His real element was being in a room full of incredibly electric personalities and stealing the whole fucking thing. Think about that. So instead of just trying to be the best fucking comic in the world, he's trying to walk into a room filled with the best comics in the world and shit on all of them. Oh yeah, he was edgy as fuck. I mean, whatever, you know. He's from the edgy generation or whatever. Like the best, you know those Comedy Central roasts? The best fucking roast that ever happened on that show. You know, out of all the roasts was Gilbert Gottfried's roast of Roseanne Barr. If I could play it for you, I would, but obviously I'd get fucking dinged because the world is a piece of fucking shit. And everything has a dollar sign attached to it now. You can't even fucking like hang out with a few people and talk about a thing and listen to it together. But you know how that is. You know how the dystopia functions. I don't have to fill you in on that. You've been in it. Yeah, he would always try and be like the first comedian to make an inappropriate joke about any kind of like tragedy. I remember he used to be the Aflac duck. You might remember that, the Aflac duck from your childhood. You know, Aflac. I mean, the dude fucking raked in $1 million fucking dollars, like probably every time one of those commercials came out, by going Aflac. I mean, if you didn't respect the guy, yeah, he was the Aflac duck. And he lost that job because he made an edgy joke after Katrina. I can't remember what he said. Let me see if I can find it. Maybe it wasn't Katrina. Maybe it was something else. It was after the tsunami in Japan. That's right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It was like the day of the Japan tsunami. There was a big Japanese tsunami. Gilbert Gottfried's most shocking jokes. Nope. I just want to hear it. Let me see. I'll hunt it down. I just gotta find like I just want to remember like what the joke was, because it was pretty fucking bad. Pretty fucking bad. But that was his shit. You know what I mean? Gilbert Gottfried talks about, okay, Gilbert, you're gonna get in trouble again. Okay, that's a Norm Macdonald. Gilbert Gottfried, best joke of all time. No. Gilbert Gottfried laughs at Japanese tsunami. Yeah.
To Japan and the tsunami.
Okay, we're going to play some of this. Hold the phone. We got, dude, you got to have respect, man. Gilbert out there trolling the day of, man. As the fucking tsunami's rolling out and dragging the bodies of tens of thousands of Japanese people into their watery fucking grave. Gilbert's out there making a joke.
That's sweeping through the northeast of the country right now. The government has so far confirmed some 32 deaths, but that number is expected to rise.
Oh, wait. This is just... Okay, never mind. I thought this was going to be like the news coverage of this. I thought it was going to be the fucking news coverage, and it's just somebody that put his iconic fucking laugh over the horrible footage.
Oh, I love this.
Oh, I love this.
Headaches are all gone.
All right, well, whatever the fuck. Whatever the fuck that was. I'll try and find it. I have not given up yet. Gilbert Gottfried fired for Japan jokes. Too soon, Gilbert Gottfried. No, this is Funny or Die. Can't watch that. King of Too Soon. This is like some Gilbert Gottfried jokes. Maybe it'll be in there. I guess we can listen to some of this.
This roast was happening not even 3 weeks after September 11th, so there was a big discussion about what was right in terms of taste.
There hadn't been any comedy in New York. It was very fresh.
Okay, so is this, yeah, because didn't he go out and like, he told the fucking aristocrats joke or whatever on 9/11. I don't know. But that was his thing. He tried to get in front of it. Oh, shit, somebody got a fucking... one of those, what are those things where the celebrities will shout you out or whatever for money? Bob Saget raped and killed a girl in 1990.
Why should we pick Bob Saget, who raped and killed a girl in 1990? Well, first of all, it's not true. It's not true that Bob Saget raped and killed a girl in 1990.
That's the joke, you know what I mean? Instead of like making, but he makes a whole bit out of it. He was just fucking great, man. I mean, I'm so bummed that Gilbert Gottfried is dead. He was so fucking good. Oh, Gilbert. Let me see. Let's see. Yeah, here he is talking about his. It was a tweet.
Now I got to talk about your commercials, of course. Now there's many: MTV, Pepsi, Subway, Windows XP, and of course there's Affleck.
Yes.
Now,
Why, did something happen?
Affleck the Duck. You gotta check Twitter. You're the voices of Affleck the Duck for 11 years.
11, yeah.
2000 to 2011. This has to be the easiest money. Do you go in just one time and you did the voice? Or
No, you have to come in each time and keep recording it.
Right, keep it fresh.
And yes,
Keep the duck fresh.
Yeah, I should probably like not play this whole fucking thing, actually. It's so sad that this has to be a consideration. You know what I mean? But that's just the way it is. That is just the way it is. Yeah, I played his normal voice. Jokes that didn't get Gilbert Gottfried fired. Let's see. I thought he said it, but he did the right thing and tweeted it. That's how you get it out wide. Let's see. He apologized for his tweets. I sincerely apologize to anyone who was offended by my attempt at humor regarding the tragedy in Japan. I meant no disrespect. Yeah, right. Let's see. Here's some of them. I just split up with my girlfriend, but like the Japanese say, there'll be another one floating by any minute now. Remember, like he's tweeting this shit. He's like live tweeting this as everybody's waking up in the morning to find out. Here's another one that he tweeted. I was talking to my Japanese real estate agent. I said, is there a school in this area? She said, not now, but just wait. like one's going to float by soon. You know what I mean? Let's see. But apparently BuzzFeed has all of it. Oh, man. This image is no longer available. Crap. I'll find it. Yeah, so anyway, he lost his job. Japan called me. They said maybe those jokes are a hit in the U.S., but over here they're all sinking. Oh, Gilbert. Oh, man. Let me see if I can find any more of them. Apparently he went, because like that BuzzFeed article had like 20 of them, but they were all broken links. So I'm trying to find like a list of them all here. So of course he took them down, you know what I mean? So that it's screenshots or bust. Fuck, man. Well, you know, I know that this is the anti-Edge generation, but I'll miss him. You know, you could always count on him when he was healthy, you know, to be out there cracking jokes already with the fucking gallows humor, man. I happen to believe we need that shit. I don't believe anybody in Japan was hurt by Gilbert poking fun at that fucking situation. In fact, there were probably some Japanese people that laughed at that. And that itself is a net positive in the world. So, good shit. Okay, yeah. Here's a more complete list. Japan is really advanced. They don't go to the beach. The beach comes to them. Oh, shit. I fucked a girl in Japan. She screamed, I feel the earth move and I'm getting wet. My new book, Rubber Balls and Liquor, was released in Japan. It's making quite the splash. Yes, sir. What does every Japanese person have in their apartment? Floodlights. He's just like tweeting this shit out, you know, as the news is breaking and the pictures are coming out, you know. He's on Twitter fucking straight up trolling. Straight up gallows humor, and right like as it's happening, man. I asked the girl in Japan to have sex with me. She said, "Okay, but you'll have to sleep in the wet spot." What the Japanese Jews like to eat. Hebrew national tsunami. I was talking to my Japanese okay, yeah, we already read that one. My Japanese doctor advised me to stay healthy. I need 50 million gallons of water a day. Oh, that's not even all of them. Here's a TMZ. As the death toll creeps towards 3,000 and fear of a nuclear disaster looms, comedian Gilbert Gottfried decided the timing was right for some completely tasteless Japan tsunami jokes. Joan Rivers had his back. She tweeted, that's what comedians do. We react to tragedy by making jokes to help people in tough times feel better through their laughter. So Joan Rivers had his back, but Joan Rivers is dead now too. Japan just put out this urgent plea. Please send us a few billion rubber duckies. Gilbert's final performance is God from Smiling Friends. Yeah, somebody said that earlier. Thanks, though. I've never heard of the show. Let's see. See if there's any more here that I haven't read yet. No. It looked like there were like over 20 in that BuzzFeed article that is now just a link dead. Man. It was a couple weeks after 9/11. There was a weird feeling in New York. People were walking around in a daze. I was at the roast of Hugh Hefner, and I just wanted to be the person to make a really poor taste joke about September 11th. It was impromptu. I don't remember thinking about it beforehand. I said, I have to leave early tonight. I have a flight to California. I can't get a direct flight. They said I have to stop at the Empire State Building first. I don't think anyone's lost an audience bigger than I did at that point. They were just booing and hissing. One guy said too soon. He was just a face in the crowd, but now I wish I knew who it was because his comment became part of the language too soon. I'd never heard that before. I knew there were times where people wait to make jokes about something, but I always thought that concept was ridiculous. Is there an office with a guy behind a desk who decides when it's not too soon anymore? You can do jokes about the Lincoln assassination and the Titanic and no one says anything because everyone involved is dead and their grandchildren are dead. I actually think that's in worse taste. You're saying, screw all those people who died. I waited for it to become unimportant to us. When I do a joke about September 11th or the Japanese tsunami, what's funny is that it shocks the audience. They're responding to the fact that it's tragic and you're acknowledging it. With the Challenger explosion or any other tragic event pre-internet, there were always a bunch of jokes that would come out immediately. Everyone was in a rush to tell their friends, everyone was laughing about it, and it was okay. Now with the internet, it makes me feel sentimental about old-time angry mobs. In a mob, you actually had to throw on your jacket, go outside, use your hands. Now you can join a mob sitting on your couch in your underwear. I feel like people who get outraged like that are patting themselves on the back. You see, I was offended. But I'm as hypocritical as anybody else. I remember when all those stories came out about Mel Gibson. A woman cop had stopped him. He called her sugar tits and asked, "Are you a Jew?" And the Jews were responsible for all the wars in the world. And the news came out about his girlfriend. He smacked her when she was holding a baby. Told her, if you get raped by a pack of N-words, it'll be your fault. I'll put you in a fucking rose garden, you cunt. And after all that, I was like, wait, he said what about the Jews? Gilbert Gottfried. That was great. That's a great little write-up. Some food for thought in there for sure, yeah? Say what you want about Mel, but his ex-wife tapes was his best performance. Oh man, that shit was crazy. But you can kind of tell that Mel Gibson is crazy. He has the crazy eyes, man. Like, watch. I'll pull up just some pictures of Mel, and you tell me he doesn't have the fucking like 1,000-yard stare. Jeez. Gee whiz. All right. Let's see. Let's take a look at some of this. Let's take a look at some Gibsons. I mean, look. There's a you see what I'm saying? This is him trying to look happy. Like, this is him like, oh, I'm going to take a PR photo. So, you know, Let's see. I mean, well, I give him the benefit of the doubt here. You know? Oh, Jesus. Like, once again, this is him, like, and you look, he's even got like that thing that happens to the Sith where their eyes start to turn purple. Like, you can tell he fucking, like, okay, let me ask you a question. You guys follow along with me here. All right. You're in the starport at Mos Eisley Station, right? A greater hive of scum and villainy there is not. And a bar fight breaks out, right? Between a big, giant alien squid-faced thing and a big, giant alien pig thing. And it looks like it's going to get ugly. And then all of a sudden, you see Mel Gibson. He whips his robe back, right? His fucking takes his hood off. And you hear the telltale sound of a lightsaber unsheathing. Psst, right? What color is that lightsaber? What color is the lightsaber? I think you all know what color that lightsaber is. Anybody that says that it's not red, that's a fucking bright red lightsaber. Red as a chihuahua's dick. Anybody saying purple, yellow, or otherwise is fucking trolling. Look at him. A black lightsaber that's unique to Mel. Yeah. Okay. All right, buddy. He's a teacher at Hogwarts. What school is he from? If you don't say fucking Slytherin or Ravenclaw, then you're not paying attention. Lactose Dominus. I'm gonna bury you in the fucking rose garden. You ungrateful cunt. I'm gonna bury you in the rose garden, you ungrateful cunt. If I wasn't making this movie about this fucking gay-ass Jesus shit, I'd fucking bury you in a fucking rose garden. Oh yeah, dude, definitely a Mel Gibson DFF. I think he'd be just fine. I think he'd do well as a topic. He's a crazy fuck. He isn't evil. He's just done a shitload of drugs. I mean, I didn't say he was evil. I really don't think the Sith are necessarily evil. That's the thing, is like, the whole point of Star Wars, at least until, you know, the Zoomer generation Star Wars, it's always about, like, you know, the gray area between the light and the dark side, and how easy it is to feel like you're on one side, but you know, in the blindness of your righteous indignation, you're on the other. It's about the tenuous dividing line between these concepts that, because of that tenuous dividing line, don't really exist, good and evil, right? I do not believe in good as an ultimate concept, and I don't believe in evil as an ultimate concept. What's gray about blowing up a planet? Well, the rebels were destroying tons and tons of fucking Imperial installations, blowing up Imperial starships. Those are people. Like, you don't understand. Like, okay, so if you're fucking like an engine crewman on a Star Destroyer, that's just your fucking job, man. Your ass got blown up when the fucking rebels flew their X-Wings in. Right? So they blew up a planet to stop the fucking rebels. I'm not saying it's, you know, necessarily the choice I would have made, but you can't deny the moral gray area there. The Jedi are constant. Like, look, every fucking Sith is a Jedi that turned. Maybe with the exception of Palpatine. Seems like Palpatine just kind of like learned directly. But, you know, all the major Siths are good, are used to be fucking the, not only good guys, but like the paragons of goodness. Right. Workers on the second Death Star. The list goes on and on. You could see as an Imperial citizen how you would look at the rebels and go like, oh my God, they're fucking terrorists. I mean, it's such a reflection of like a lot of people's feelings during like the Gulf War or the kind of post 9/11 wars. The war on terror, as it's so ignominiously, mislabeled. Luke was radicalized. I mean, yeah. Luke was radicalized by a crazy old man in a crazy religious sect. Right? And set upon a fucking mission to blow up and destroy. Who knows how many people you think worked on the fucking Death Star? Let's just get a fucking round guess. Like, how many people you figure worked on something that's that big? Like a moon. A machine the size of a moon. It's a movie, not reality. Well, no, duh. Whatever, man. We're talking about themes. We're talking about gray areas in morality. How you can, if you allow yourself to set aside your outrage, make arguments for people who you normally hear labeled as evil. And we were going over Star Wars because somebody, brought up, them blowing up a planet as an ultimately evil act. And I demonstrated how it was a morally gray act, entirely dependent on perception and positioning. Yeah, we're not talking about it like it was a real thing. We're just talking about the implied themes of Star Wars, yes? I mean, look where Obi-Wan's fucking tutelage of Luke Skywalker. Think about it. The parallels in the original Star Wars trilogy to religious radicalization in the Islamic world post 9/11, after America went batshit and started bombing everything that fucking had a turban on its head, are kind of stunning if you think about it. Luke comes from Tatooine, very dry and arid place. He's radicalized by an old man who pulls him into a religion, and part of that religion, part of his duty in that religion is to go forward and destroy a bunch of government buildings, possibly at peril of losing his own life. And in doing that, he's supposed to steel his reserves and calm his mind by believing in the Force. Luke is, religiously indoctrinated into killing maybe, I don't know, conservatively 20,000 people, 30,000 people over the course of the first three films. Does it make it any more valid if their religion is confirmed in the story? Well, consider the fucking source, right? Their religion is confirmed because we see the movie through the perspective of what we consider to be the good guys, right? And so it's very clear where the dividing line is, because it's very clear what we think is evil in the film. When I say we, I mean the audience. Because we are shown everything in the film through the eyes of Luke and Leia and Ben Kenobi and the Rebel Alliance. Han. Now, if that story had been told by a rank and file troop, in the Imperial Army, it might be a completely different story. It might be the story of a brave and amazing general who was not content to let a rebel fucking faction continue to perpetrate terrorism and kill thousands upon thousands of Imperial citizens, fighting against the last straggling bands of them and being ultimately triumphant. You know what I mean? If it was presented in that way, from that perspective, and every time you saw Luke, he was this kind of like hunchback dude, and think about it. Long, stringy, greasy hair. Right. Yeah, the narrative most of the time is controlled by the victor. Historically speaking, almost all of the time. Especially like when you're talking about like public education level history. Pretty much all of that shit that you learned in school is utterly skewed, because if you look at it, it's all told from the perspective of rich people. A lot of people don't know that. It's something that I never thought about until it was presented to me as a problem by Howard Zinn. Why is every historical story told through the eyes of a king or an emperor or a duke or a powerful senator or the leaders of all the fucking colonies that would become, you know, America, the 13 colonies that would eventually become America. Like, why are they, you know, like, makes you think. Well, not only that, but they're the victors. They're the rich ones. They have the consolidated power, so they control the fucking narrative. They print the books. They pay the historians to write the novels and record the deeds. You see? Sorry, had to go get something to drink. I was parched. But I have returned. You educated people not to be murderers, but educators build the environment from an engineering aspect. Huh? What's going on? What's happening? Why is every word capitalized in your sentence? Oh man, you're not gonna grammar Nazi him now, are you, man? Cynic, you know the rules. This is an unsanctioned bitch boy slap fight. You guys can take it to DMs, but you're not gonna keep having it in my chat. That's the only warning that you'll get. So just fucking break it up, boys. You fighting boys. If you guys really care about this, DM one another or some shit. Figure out each other's fucking Twitters or whatever the fuck and go over there and jerk each other off. Take it to the court. Stop arguing on this side of the road. Yeah. Yeah, you guys go hoop it up, man. Take it to the courts. We need the return of Paul the Tyrant to bring order to the chat again. Oh, I'm tyrannical as I need to be, man. When the time calls for it, I'm tyrannical, and when it ain't, you know, I'm nice. See, a lot of people would accuse me of being fucking like an asshole all the time. I'm just an asshole when I need to be an asshole. When there's really no alternative, you know. Been watching too many cop vids. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of how it is, man. Getting a spiral watching the same type of shit. It's really easy. I feel like everything's kind of like made for that now. Everything's made to like hyper focus you on one fucking like type of thing and keep your fucking brain on that. The TikTok pipeline, yeah. The YouTube Shorts pipeline, you know? Anyway, I feel like that's good for tonight. I'm pretty tired. I was on the road all day. So I'm going to let you guys go. Thanks for chilling. See you next time.